Hi everyone, my name is Nick Vandersel, or Mr. Van to the kids. Um, I've been noticing coming both out of spring break and also from before spring break that there's an incredible increase in students dealing with feelings of anxiety, and that I know a lot of parents have been, and I'm appreciative of this, reaching out and asking for ideas and support around that. And I thought, given the conversations I'm having, it might just be helpful to share a little bit online here, just some general stuff that isn't so child specific. Yeah, so just going to take a minute or two to do that. I just wanted to lead off by saying this isn't really surprising. We're coming out of, well, fingers crossed, coming out of a pretty massive global pandemic here. We know that for 2 years, students have been just like adults in their lives, just like all of us, suppressing emotions and feelings, not fully processing them, letting them sit and percolate. And so there is naturally going to be a release of many of those feelings, and that often students might not yet have the language or the knowledge of how to best process those. I saw a fascinating thing the other day, kind of blows my mind, it makes me sad. In this book I was reading that's talking about the average American, probably not that different for Canadians though, the average American is able to identify basically just 3 emotions. And so if you can do more than 3, you're above average. Mostly we're able to identify angry, happy, and sad. And so when you think about that as a baseline for adults, you have to start asking yourself, how is it that students can successfully navigate some of the emotions and the feelings they're feeling, coming both related to COVID and related to the challenges that went with COVID, like isolation, for example, but also things beyond COVID, with all the transition into high school for all of our grade 8s right now, to the fact that they're living in increasingly a digital world that the adults may not have trained them for as well, and they're living in a world of instant awareness and gratification. And so this is a challenging place to be as a youth. And so for the caregivers here, I think it's really important that I just outline a couple things. The first one is really focusing on your relationship to that human being, to that child. I think we need to remember the really cool and interesting findings of this Harvard study. You can look up the TED Talk, it's quite cool, on 70 years of studying happiness. And basically it just comes down to relationships. And I talked to the students about this in PE. People who are able to identify positive relationships in their own life have much better life outcomes and lower rates of suicide than anyone else in society. There is no other benchmark that triggers on that same level. And so to really focus on relationships and remembering that the challenges around anxiety, around a big one I'm seeing right now is around school refusal, feeling uncomfortable going into the building, what peers might think. This is a really normal challenge that students are having right now, across all the grades, not just grade 8, but across all the grades and in other schools as well. And just to remember that your relationships will outlast these challenges, and to keep those as strong as possible. Another thing I often say is don't be afraid to reach out and to advocate, whether it's with me or whether it's with teachers and other supports, people in the community. If you're looking to access resources, don't be shy about asking for what you need. I tell students to do this too. It's important as a life skill, and it's also important to stop yourself from having the wheels just kind of spinning over and over again. So those are 2 pretty big things I would suggest really focusing on if you've got a young person in your life who's struggling with feelings of worthiness, anxiety, stress, to really kind of focus on those 2 things. And I just want to remind all of us to show empathy whenever we can. If you're ever looking for a really good video about it, look up Brene Brown's empathy video. It is top-notch, and it's really cute. It's only about 4 minutes long as well, so it's nice and quick. So please, like I say, I hope you recognize that by me making this video, it's me acknowledging how difficult the times are for young people right now, and also for the caregivers that work with them. So my thoughts and my heart goes out to all of you, whether you're caregiver or student, and I really appreciate getting to do the work I do with you. So stay connected, stay in touch, build those relationships, and know that you are absolutely not walking this alone. Okay.